Go ahead and get started with our student presentations. They're going to tell us a little bit about the work that they did for us this summer. And the first group is going to be the Office of Highway Maintenance. When you come up, make sure you each introduce yourselves so we know your names, okay? Come on up.
That's right.
Okay, I'll just go first.
Oh, you're doing this.
We go all stand up.
We're not doing the slides though.
Everyone that was in the Office of Highway Maintenance.
I was gonna tax you. Science. That's not how we make it. Yeah, come on, bro. Demetrius. Loved it.
So good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Brittany Andrews. So the rest, they will introduce themselves.
My name is Demetrius.
My name is Brittany Bright.
Malachi Brian. I'm Evan Carmen.
Tony Snoop.
Okay, so I worked in the Office of Highway Maintenance, and I also worked in dispatch. And what I did was I learned a lot to start, and I'm so proud of where I got. This is actually my second year here in the Office of Highway Maintenance. So basically I did data entry with Q-Alert. It's a system used working in the offices. So I would get calls from citizens asking, like for example, right? So they would ask, okay, so we have an issue with the road, or the road is patchy. The road has patches in it, or the asphalt, or it might be about a tree. So I would take those calls and I would enter it into the system, right? So I learned the responsibility of just social skills and communicating with these people and making sure that the information is accurate and correct, so I can make sure everything transfers through to the next person above me, okay? I guess that concludes. Do I have any questions, or any questions of me? Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm sorry, I do that. Are
Yes.
you a graduating senior? What year are you in?
I'm going to college in the fall,
Where are you going?
Louis State University.
Oh, okay. Nice. Great. Congratulations.
I worked in sign shop. What I did was before the signs get made, I would pull the stickers off, and I would make the signs out of the print. It was a good experience. That's all I did.
Where else did
What
you
kind of
work?
signs were you making?
Oh, like no parking at any time signs, crosswalk for bicycle, and that's it.
So now when you see those, you know where they come from.
Yeah, I didn't know you had to do all that process to make them signs.
And where else did you work?
Oh, in the taxi department.
What did you do there?
Taxi department, I was inputting files and updating files, and yeah, updating files, pulling them. And I also learned about the medallion numbers. I didn't know a lot about taxis, how much they have to pay to start taxiing, and I didn't know this is the cost of a lot of money. I learned a lot about that too.
Very good.
Again, I'm Brittany, and I worked in the Office of Highway Maintenance. Like that part of it's a big campus, but I worked in the Office of Highway Maintenance, and they call my title administrative assistant. And what I did was answer phone calls, file papers, and took messages. We did a lot of stuff. I'm really sorry. We did a lot of stuff. We was like, well, me, I was fluctuating from the first to the third floor like daily, so it was a lot. We had meetings and we talked about different stuff. Like we put our input into like different projects from like I guess from the youth perspective, so it could be more fair to like everyone. We did. We were moving stuff, but that's it. Any questions?
Okay, I worked in the Office of Highway Maintenance. I worked in the MOC building, but every morning we went out, so it wasn't really like we worked in the building. We would go out and get on what they call it, six-wheelers? Six-wheel, 2-ton trucks, and we would ride to locations where it was a lot of trash on the street, or ride to locations where somebody had recently got evicted and we had to clean up the trash on the street, or get all the stuff like people couches and stuff, put it in a packer and take it to the dump. That's what we did. Oh, and I don't know what the building's called. No, I'm not in taxi though. Oh, the caller cab. I mean the caller bus. I work at the caller bus. All I do is soap papers for. I did like some type of calculating work. I didn't know what it was called though, and I had to do mileage sheets and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all I did.
My name is Evan. I was in the Department of Highway Maintenance, and at first I was with him in little pickup. We was on the trucks every day. That was pretty simple, but then I got switched to the trip center with Mr. Joe and Mr. Vince, and they taught me a lot. I learned how the system works for the traffic lights and like ATMS, when like track see if the light is working, or like you can watch the footage from each like traffic intersection and do other things. And I was sort of like filing some things like timing sheets and signal plans, and that's pretty much it. They showed me some things about some modems for the traffic lights and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So at first I was with Malachi and Evan taking out the litter and doing evictions. But then I got switched to an inspection, so we looked at all the different kinds of pipes and ponds.
What did you look for?
We looked for like if anything was like in the pipes that needed to be taken out. Yeah.
Yeah, storm drain.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing. And now I think we have a presentation from the Office of Transportation students.
Everybody have to do it.
Henry and Kevin.
Everybody start in the office. My name is Darion Robinson.
My name is Kiana.
I'm Isaiah Harris.
Yeah, I'm Leah Robinson.
And we are here today to talk about the bus operating from
Oh no.
So what we do when we have technical difficulties is we just keep it moving. So why don't you all go ahead and explain to us what you did this summer? Okay.
This right here says.
Start from the beginning, please.
I think it's good, like, this kind of big, good experience, and,
Okay. My name is Darion Robinson, and today my team and I are here today to talk about the bus survey routes for 16, 21, and 36. And my teammate, Keanu Shankin, will talk about the agenda.
This is our agenda today. I will be starting off with the introduction, followed by.
Isaiah, I'm doing a math.
Darion Robinson, I'm going to the
And Leah Robinson, I'll be doing the conclusion. And then some questions and answers. The purpose of our study our purpose of our study was to get a better understanding of why people ride the bus. And we hypothesized that we were going to have more people riding the bus daily to go to work, that there would be no problems encountered, and that they would want weekend services with extended hours.
True.
This is our Route 16, and here's a map of our route. And it starts off at New Carlton Station, which is all the way down here, the White Star. Goes up to Greenbelt Station, the White Star up there. And the red stars are key destinations, which is the Doctor's Hospital, the Beltway Plaza, and the New Carlton Mall. This is our Route 21, and this is a map of our Route 21, which is starting at New Carlton Station as well, and it's ending at the Equestrian Center. And the key destinations are the Red Stars, which is the Largo Town Center, the Prince George's Community College, and also the CAB and Courthouse. This is our Route 36, and here's a map of our Route 36. It goes from the Clinton Fringe Park and Ride lot to the MTA, and the key destinations in this route is the Brandywine Crossing Shopping Center and the Pine Hill Shopping Center. And here's Isaiah looking at this.
When we're talking about the three methods we use for our project, the first one we used was surveying. We surveyed a total of 80 people. And the way we did that, we had 2 people surveying the back of the bus, 2 people surveying the front of the bus. The second way we used was the previous data collected from the first group. We surveyed the same routes as them, but we surveyed on different times. Then on the next slide, we surveyed bus operators. We asked them what are the most popular stops on the ride for Route 16, Doctor's Hospital, and Fulton Mall. They didn't have any recommendations for improving that stop. Road 36, the Clinton Park and Ride, and US Fuel was the most popular stops. And that little emoji right there at the bottom, because everybody loved that weekend services.
This right here is an overview of all the surveys we've collected in total from the first and second group. As you can see for question 1, what is the purpose of the trip? It shows that an overwhelming majority of riders rode the bus to go to work. And for question 2, would you support weekend service? Again, it was an overwhelming majority of riders wanted to have weekend service accepted. And for question 3, how often do you ride the bus? There's an overwhelming majority of riders that ride the bus daily. But on the other hand, there was a select few people that rode the bus for the very first time. And for question 4, have you encountered any problems while riding the bus? There was an overwhelming majority of riders saying that they encountered no problems at all at the bus. And for question 5, we asked that are there any ways that we can improve the bus service? There was an overwhelming majority of the passengers at telling us that they would want the hours of service to be extended. So, for Route 16, it is similar to what we saw in the summary a while back. Majority of people who rode the bus were riding to go to work, but then the second highest was the doctor's office, and the third highest was school for riders. In Route 21, it is the same as in the summary, that majority of the riders were riding to go to work. But as you can see, there are none riding at all for shopping. And the most popular choice was for school and doctor's office of riders to go. And Route 36, again, it's the same as all the others. For work, all of them always drove the bus for work. and that they will go to the doctor's office very little and to other things like for entertainment and school. And now pass it on Nia for conclusion.
We use 3 methods to collect our data. I'll only be discussing 2 of the methods. The first method was the surveys. The second method was the bus driver interview. This data supported our hypothesis. For the surveys, we found that most passengers rode the bus to work, rode the bus daily, supported weekend service, had no problems while on the bus, and wanted extended hours of service. For the interview, we found that Grove 10, Brandywine Road, and City Hall are rarely used bus stops. The most popular bus stops were Doctors Hospital, Lake Plaza, Spring Hill Lakes, Cherry Hill Lane, and Clinton Bridge. Some of the lessons that we've learned was to ask and answer all the questions on the survey, to be prepared, and to leave on time. We made sure to ask and answer all the questions on the survey to make our data more consistent and reliable. So this concludes our presentation. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I have a question. What did you all learn about the data collection process and then how it's used by the department?
About the data collection?
What are they gonna, what is your department gonna do with the data that you all collected? How is it gonna be used?
They're gonna put it into use by like making extended hours and then getting weekend services, starting to make it up. And also they're gonna do like more stops, so everybody didn't have to stop to get off that because the passengers asked for a different stop, like multiple things. Any other questions?
I may have missed it. How many people did you survey on each
80.
round? What you saying?
80.
80 people.
Yes.
Actually, you surveyed and 80 people answered.
Yes.
So nobody said no.
Some people did say no.
Yeah. Yes.
What time periods? So you did AM and PM, what time within the AM?
We did Route 36 in the morning, and then we did the 16 and 21 in the afternoon.
Did you find most people were receptive?
Yeah, most people were accepted.
I want to give you a hard time. Did you test your hypothesis?
Any more questions? All right, thank you.
I had a question.
Uh-oh.
So what did you guys learn while doing this interview?
Overall, what did you learn?
What did you say at
I
that?
wanted to do 28 bus runs.
I learned that people depend on like they depend on the bus for like another option for transportation.
Well, I learned how long all the routes, I learned like how long the 36 and 21 and 16 routes are.
I learned that the bus schedules are tricky to read for some of the riders. And that they would like updates on like when it changes quickly, rapidly, when it just changes all the time, they would need more backup schedules.
Great.
What do you guys like about this project?
We got
We liked about going on the bus, talking to different people and about their experiences about the bus.
There's a lot of experiences. Anything else?
So what would you guys recommend for us to do to make the service better?
service.
extended hours.
Weekend service.
More schedules, so they can understand what's going on.
Very good, thank you. Also the transportation students. And now we have, we're gonna have two presentations from the Office of Administration. And the first is gonna be Michael Nelson.
Oh, no, I just need somebody.
Thank you.
All right, how's everybody doing today? My name is Michael Nelson. I actually didn't really make a presentation at all, but basically over the last 5 weeks, I've been working with the Department of Public Works and Transportation. So, I was put in charge of making 3 PSAs on.
You want to pause it? Yeah, and rewind it.
She probably.
Do you want to?
No, just go to the beginning. But all right. Anyway, yeah. Over the last 5 weeks, I've been put in charge of PSA, just 3 different PSAs on pedestrian safety, bicycle safety, and driver safety. I'm actually only going to be playing the pedestrian safety one today, so yeah. From the beginning.
Did you know in the state of Maryland, Prince George's County ranks amongst the highest for pedestrian fatalities? Clearly this has become a very serious epidemic and we as a county have to put a stop to it as soon as possible. So here are some tips for safer travels. First off, before crossing the street, make sure you look both ways and also be sure you're not distracted. That means no cell phones, earphones, etc. Also be sure to use the crosswalk. That's not only where you're supposed to be, but it's where drivers expect you to be. Do not walk in the middle of the street. Secondly, if one is available, make sure you use the pedestrian push button, wait for the walk signal, and then safely walk within the crosswalk and intersection. Before crossing and make sure they see you. Now when you're walking, if there's no sidewalk, be sure to walk toward the cars so they can see when one is coming. Also be sure to walk as far away as possible to avoid drivers. Another tip for safe walking is when it gets dark out, make sure you have on bright clothes or even arm reflectors to make yourself clearly visible to drivers. According to the Maryland State Highway Administration, nearly 73% of the fatal pedestrian-involved crashes occur in the dark. So wearing brighter clothes will make it easier for not only the driver but also yourself. Thank you so much for watching and make sure you remember these safety tips next time you're walking.
For more information, please contact us at 301-883-5600 or visit us at www.princegeorgescountymd.gov. And also be sure to follow us on Twitter at PG County DPW&T. Thank you. So yeah, that's about it. Any questions?
Okay, I know this didn't come together overnight, so tell us what the process was for
Alright,
creating a
so-
PSA?
Yeah, basically, first I had to get a bunch of actors together, so, thank you to all of these people on the side and Gary on as well. And a few other people. And I also got Sadiq, so, yeah, we just got everybody together, for acting and the narration. So then we went out to various locations throughout PG County, to the National Harbor, where else did we go? The Woodmore Town Center, like right down the street. And we just filmed on different shots. So we did that, and then this past Tuesday, which was kind of later than I would have hoped, we got the narration done with Sadiq, and then over the last week, I've been just editing, constantly. So, yeah.
And what about the scripts that you and Mark wrote?
Oh yeah, me and Mark worked for the first couple weeks, just writing 3 separate scripts on bike safety, pedestrian safety, and driver safety.
And you do all the research?
Right, research. He did the majority of the research because I came in a day after he started, so he had the majority of the research done, but it was just putting it together to get the script set up. So we had to figure out how we were going to get the words set in for Sadiq to actually narrate. So once we did that, we came back to you, Karen, to actually see how we needed to correct it or revise it to make it better. I wasn't actually able to see him edit it, but actually watching the video myself, it's pretty amazing. And that's about what we did to properly get this to come out the way it did.
Last question is, how do you think we can get this out to the community? Are there ways that you guys have thought of how to distribute the videos?
Yeah, we could put it on the department's Twitter page, and also we could put it on a YouTube page for them. And also, we could play it on the county monitors, but I would have to cut down the length of the video a little bit, but that's about it.
Is this an interest you had coming in, or is this something that Karen came up with in task?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely very interested in video editing and just directing in general. So yeah, Karen just put me in charge of it. And
So what kind of equipment did you guys use?
You mean like this camera?
Yes.
Well, for the editing, we used Adobe Premiere Pro.
Mm-hmm.
For cameras, what we use? Canon.
Yeah, it's Canon Mark
Canon
III.
Mark III. Yeah, Canon Mark III.
Which are generously donated by?
Ed Jones. Ed's here right now. So yeah.
I want to say that I'm extremely proud of the work that you all put in. One of the roads that you did just hit on is a road I've been working on with several agencies for about 4 or 5 years, Maryland 4. I'm the chairman of the Maryland 4 Pedestrian Safety Enhancement Project. So hopefully by this time next year or during late fall, from Silly Hill Road to Forestville Road, you're going to see it's going to be totally transformed. It's going to have continuous roadway lighting. So all of the studies that you did and the research, I had done that over the past 5 years, and it's accurate. And it's really touching to see that you all did the work. I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Now, not a question, but a statement. I was really, that wasn't a good internship project. That was a good project, period. This PSA is going to be around here long after you all are gone. We're going to actually have an event next week on pedestrian safety for back to school, focusing on some of our younger students. We'll try to see if we can find a way to get some of the stuff moved into that. We'll certainly be talking about it. When you all started here 6 or 7 weeks ago. I lose track of time at this point. We talked about trying to give you all some things that would help you, and hopefully you can deliver some things that will help us to advance what we do here. This is a perfect example of that. So, and also the same thing with the research that on the bus stop. So, when you all walk away from this project, know that you've been here for a short time, but you've made a big difference. That's outstanding work. Well done.
Say that, you know, each department is able to nominate one summer youth as an outstanding example of the work that they've done with their agency. And Michael was nominated. He got to take a picture with the county executive. And we greatly appreciate the work that you did, and all of the students. So thank you very much. Okay, and so we were having technical difficulties because we had another presentation by Mr. Mark Albright. Did you want to just get up and talk about it?
Yeah, I guess.
Just tell us about it. It's okay. Just work through it.
So, first 2 weeks I worked with Michael and Karen for the PSAs. But then after these following 2 weeks, I was working with Miss Jones. She's not here, but I was working with her to actually make a newsletter. I also work on the snow brochure for like the drivers and trucks to let them know like the different companies. So doing that, it led to me ending up making an actual possible logo for the Department of Transportation. So I had 2 different logos which would be shown on the projector if it was working. But I also ended up doing a flyer for transit with Mr. Anthony, and it worked. It actually came out really nice. Hopefully it'll be shown on either the buses as just a regular handout, or it should be shown on a bus shelter actually on the side of it, which will be really cool because I did it. So I'll have that to put in my resume and like my work. So this actually opened me up to a new like possibility in careers to be like a graphic designer. And then on this first hand of like the first 2 weeks, I could be either a cameraman or photographer because I ended up taking a few photographs, and it led to actually ending up on the newsletter, and then also just being able to be used anywhere in the county because now they have that at their access. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it up, but if not, any questions?
Are you in high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going,
I'm in the 12th grade. I'm rather in 12th grade.
What school?
While he's working to see if he can get his information up, there's a couple of things. We have a survey for the students that I want Lavinia to go ahead and pass around to you. And then also, we have some thank you certificates that Martin's going to present.
Yeah, actually I do. Can I have all the supervisors? Actually, you know what? After we get done, I want to have a picture of all the supervisors and their students. Before we hand out certificates, I just want to say again, thank you all on behalf of Director Mobley, Deputy Director of Science, and myself for the work that you all have done and for what you brought to the department. This program means, hopefully means something to you all. I can tell you it means a lot to us. Darryl, who's by the way on the side of a glacier in Canada or something, so pray for him. And I've had a lot of, and Andre as well, I've had a lot of conversations over the last couple of months about growing this program and having it be something that has meaning. It's a short period of time, but it doesn't take a long, like again, what Mark just said, in a short period of time, he's gotten awareness of some new things, some new avenues that maybe he hadn't been thinking of before. Right? He's got something he can take away with him that's going to be literally millions of people going to want to see him in a county of this size. And so you know, if we can get you all to look at the things around you outside and then turn that inside and tap into what you have inside of you to bring forward, it's something that benefits us, but it's something that's going to benefit you whether or not you go off to college or higher education or to a vocational school or whatever. What we're trying to do is expose you to the types of things that you may maybe not have seen before, and bring out some of the talent and skills that you've sort of heard about or maybe it's just thought about, but you can actually see have real-world practical applications. And so we thank you for your hard work, and thank you for all that you've brought to the department over these last 6 weeks. It's been a very busy summer for us here, so hopefully you've learned a little bit about what goes on in transportation. When I spoke to you all 6 weeks ago, I said literally everything that moves from walking straight through rails, and we got to see a little bit of that as well. I want to thank the staff for all the time and effort that you all put into this, for taking this very seriously, for devoting your time and your thoughts to actually coming up with creative things for our interns to do, for lending them your expertise in your ear. And I will say the same thing that I said at the beginning. If you're walking out of here and you haven't made a contact with somebody at the professional level, that's no longer a them problem, that's a you problem. The opportunity is here to do so. If you haven't done that, I've made the most out of these last couple hours to try to make some contact that you can take that will be able to help you go from here forward. We've already got what we're going to get out of you all, so we appreciate that, all right? So with that, we've got certificates for each one of you to recognize your work. Yes, sir. He's got his video. By the way, on this, he was being a little, I've worn Mark out the last couple of weeks with updates and changes to this. Change this on the logo, move that, how about we try this? These are, by the way, just for the record, you all seen our logo. It worked very well for its time, but a lot of us have gotten to think that it's gotten a little bit outdated. It's got a little bit of a cartoonish quality to it. And we needed some new ideas and some new directions to go. So from just very early, simple directions that I gave Mark about some ideas, he started putting down concepts and sketches, and then every half an hour, he'd run back in, how about this? Good, I'm gonna half an hour, he'd come back like, what do you think about this, blah, blah. So, and then after he got to this point, this was his idea about using this as the light there. It's not easy to convey all that we do in this department. So I asked him, I gave him a tough challenge. When we cover all the range of what we do, it's hard to get that in some way that hits you, that says something. And so I said, listen, we do roads, and we do buses, and we do rails, and we do construction. So the first thing we came up with was this. We got the pedestrian safety, we got the crosswalk, that was the Karen, and the roads, he's got the lights and stuff like that. But he was able to pull all these things together. And now I asked him for a completely different direction to go after we got to the first one, where this was presented more graphically, more visually. We went through about 8 versions of this, and I think these are fantastic. I really do. And as to where Mike was saying, you know, that's going to be seen by those people. One of these things, a variation thereof, which by the way we've now sent over to a professional graphics company to take this concept and you know, take it from here to the final polished finished product. I'm going to present these to the director when he gets back next week. It's a very good possibility that one of these two things will become the new logo for this department. And so, as to where, put it this way, the current one we're having right now has been here for about 20 years. So 20 years from now, you could be seeing work that this young man put in during these 5 weeks. So that's why I'm saying, you put something into it, you can get something out of it. And I think it's just fantastic work. I'll bring you out for a while. Okay. All right, so, you got one?
Yeah. This is also the flyer that I made for the transit. So it took me about, I don't know how many revisions or tries to finally get the final approved. But it came out really nice, and I'm really proud of my own work. That was being honest. But yeah, after doing this one, this is where it led to the logo and stuff. So they used me as they could before this internship was done.
It looks real nice.
On that note, let's call your name. When your name is called, please come up and get your certificate. I will read what the certificate says. It says, congratulations on your participation in the Youth at Work Summer Youth Enrichment Program with the Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation. We appreciate your contributions to the department and hope that you have gained valuable tools for success. We wish you the best as you move forward in your educational chosen vocation. Given at 9400 Peppercorn Place, Upper Marlboro, this 12th day of August 2006. Now, it's from the director, but signed by me, sorry. That's how it works. So anyway, congratulations to you all. Thanks. When you call your name, come on up and get a certificate. All right? And, you know, let's see. Do we have somebody? Yeah, I'd like to get people in the pictures with having a supervisor. Okay. So, who's not? Leslie Orange, he's not pictures. Sure. Okay. All right.
Or do we have, I can run downstairs, because we have our camera downstairs.
Okay. All right. Let's take a 2-minute break. You know what? Good. I need 5 people to tell me one thing that they liked about the internship program, and one thing, supervisor, please take note, and one thing that we can improve. I need 5 hands. Let's go. People gotta have opinions. You need it for 5 weeks now. One thing that you liked about the program, one thing that can be improved.
Activities that you engage, that we engage, that's what I like about it. Nothing really.
All right, so that's one. All right, you say you like the range of the activities that were provided to them and the different options that we have for things to do. And then as far as improvements, we haven't gotten one yet. And the improvements for us are really just as important because you're our test group. We're not going to hear from anybody else on this for another year. So if our folks are missing something next year, it's probably because you all haven't told us they need it. So we'd love to hear your input. Next, I need other hands. I will call on you if I don't get hands. And I don't know everybody's name. Actually, you know what? I do have everybody's name. Jaleel. Who's Jaleel?
Right here.
Jaleel, tell me one thing that you learned and one thing that we can improve.
All right. One thing I learned was more computer-centric, I guess, like activities. Like what happens to, like I guess, I focus on like an engineering aspect. So it's like I focus on like deeds and appraisals and approving and declining information. So I learned about that.
Okay. What is something you think that we can improve on for next year?
I actually really don't know.
All right, we'll take that for right now. Henry.
I think that the parts of it was the fact that we got to experience different types of assignments and tasks to make us more experienced. The bad part, things I'd like to improve, for things that we can improve, I'd suggest having a greater variety of assignments for us. At points it became mundane.
Well, that's part of the work lesson. Everyday work, unfortunately, is not exciting. If we can keep it not boring, that's a good start. But yeah, we're trying to find as many new activities as we can. We're going to certainly be working on that next year. Brittany. Right, yes.
One thing that I liked was my coworkers. They were nice. They were really like they were like detailed when they told me what I had to do when I was helping them. One thing that you could probably improve is like to make sure that it's work continuously, even up to the last day for us to do. Because it was kind of like nothing else for us to do, so we just like sitting around.
I'll take one more. Anaya? Hi, that work.
Donald gotta come back.
One thing that I did not like, and I'm just being honest.
That's what we want.
But
You're done now, so let's just say it.
I really didn't like the rotation.
Okay. Because you like where you are? Okay, that's all right. And I said I'll take 5, so I'll take one more. Kiana? Kiani? There you go.
Yes, one thing I liked was, I liked the switch, kind of. It was good. You could see both sides and how separate. One thing to improve on, like the tasks, it could be more like active, like out in the field, like more do and not just more sit.
All right, so with that, I see Leslie's got a camera, so we'll just go ahead and let's get the certificates. When I call your name, if your supervisor's in the room, can you come up with them, please? Malcolm Nelson. Thank you. Good job. Well done. Yes, go ahead. All right. Michael Nelson. All right. Mark Albright.
Two supervisors, you call that and.
We'll get up here.
All right. Hold on a minute, Mark.
Okay.
Trash
Move
cans.
to the trash can.
That's what I mean. And maybe you need to look at the center on the screen a little bit. And
Keenan Finnig.
Pictures look like that.
Thank you, sir. All right.
you got it?
Jemiah Perry. Jemiah. Jemiah. I got it. I got it. You got two, bring them both up here. Okay, now I gotta get some more. Samia. That's right. Thank you so much. Yeah? Thank you so much. I think I know. You ready? Okay. Sadiq, come on. There's another guy we wore out in the director's office. Jaleel. Henry Turner.
And then we're gonna come right back here.
I do. Okay, I got cats hanging on my butt. I don't think we're going back up.
Ashley, where's Ashley Ward? Ashley. Just saw Isaiah Harris.
I did.
Oh, no, your house. Same shit. Keanu Shank.
what? Did you have you start with it?
No, I had my son.
Wait a minute, this was the fund supervisor, and I was on my day, because we had so much papers.
Malachi Grant. Thank you, sir.
Oh, my solo.
Okay, you're good.
Just that you're not gonna get the picture.
Onia?
Oh, why you throw it in the trash? He said, hold it, don't give it back.
Bag.
So, hold it.
Corey Watson. Is that Darian Robinson? Carry on, Darian.
James. Him right now? No. His, I'm saying it's his son.
Raphael Simmons. Brittany Wright. Cameron Yates. Cameron. You're not here. Okay. Demetrius Ford. Thank you, sir. Elijah Wood.
No bueno.
Evan Conley.
Evan.
Thomas Smooth.
Nice equipment, we're gonna use
Tommy. Tariq Walker.
He's not here.
Last, Devin Wheeler.
That's not what the parents is watching.
Great job, son. Thank you very much, everybody. We missed everybody. Thank you, everybody. Oh, yeah, let's get